All right, welcome back. You're still watching SA Today on this Friday afternoon as we catch up with the news that have been developing throughout the day. And of course, we're following up on the story where the NPA has received a court order restraining 46 million rand worth of the assets from Vincent Smith, his daughters, and of course, the Blitz 48 company. And of course, the allegations are that he has actually received almost 800,000 rand of bribery, and the company Blitz 48 was also used as a money laundering platform. And of course, for more on this, as promised, we're joined by Sindisiwe Twala, who is the spokesperson of the National Prosecuting Authority. Good afternoon to you and welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Tell us about this investigation and why did it take so long for him to receive the order today?
So essentially the order, like you're saying, was handed down on the 2nd of February. However, it was handed to him yesterday. The reason that it was only handed to him yesterday, there was a bit of technicality between the court processes as well as our team. However, the order was handed and it was found to be in order. But what we can say is that it's something that the investigating directorate has been pushing for ever since we instituted those criminal charges for 800,000 rand, where we said in that particular criminal case that he abused his power and thus committing fraud and corruption and failure to disclose to Parliament that he had a material benefit from Bosasa.
All right, so if this investigation has been going on for 10 years, why did it take such a long time for him to be spotted and acted on? Why didn't it happen just immediately after noticing the transaction and then boom, he has to be charged for that?
Essentially, I cannot respond for our predecessors. However, the investigating directorate took up office in 2019. And these are one of the cases that upon taking up office and within our mandate we found should be expedited, hence taking up Bosasa and the corruption that took place. So the reason that it has taken us a year or just under a year to actually get the Bosasa to the court, this is Angelo Gritz and Vincent Smith, and to today, a year odd later, to bring the restraint application is because of the investigations that have been taking place. It was quite tedious. It is quite a voluminous document, and the investigations did take quite a significant amount of time.
So what does this restraint mean? What are the implications for these assets and then whatever has been taken as bribery in the form of cash? If it has already been spent on property, does it mean that any other missing amount will have to be paid back?
No. So what this essentially means is that the assets are going to be restrained or confiscated or safe kept, for lack of a better word, by a curator. Trevor Hill has been the court-appointed curator, is going to be administering the assets, the 46 million rand worth of assets. The assets we're talking about are those of Vincent Smith, his company Blitz, a portion of his daughter's property, as well as the family trust. So what is going to be happening in the interim? The assets are going to be kept safe by the court-appointed curator. And then if we win in any of our cases surrounding him that involve corruption, either the 800,000 rand case that I mentioned that was enrolled in October last year, or in the SARS case that we plan to bring to court, then those assets will be confiscated to the state, meaning they will become the assets of the state. We'll be able to sell them and get money in order to help us fight crime.
So what happens to those involved in the meantime?
What happens to those involved in the meantime is that they won't be able to use their assets, meaning they cannot dispose, they cannot sell their assets, because we must actually alert the public that unfortunately with the specialized crimes that have been taking place, that many of the assets which have been gotten through corruption are dissipated, they are given away, they're taken offshore and the like. So what happens is that they will not be able to have access to those assets until the criminal case is concluded, which buys us time so that we do not have assets that are lost in the interim of the criminal case.
Right. Since it has been stated that this investigation will be ongoing, even though the assets are being restrained at the moment, Tell us about the process in terms of this investigation, that when crimes like these are committed, surely they didn't do it alone. Are there also serious implications for those who will be found to have been involved, as in like facilitating all these transactions to go through?
Definitely. So what we've found upon taking office is that they enable it.
We have lost a connection there with Sindisiwe Twala, the NPA spokesperson. All right, she's back on the line. I lost you for a moment there. Please start all over again.
Okay. So what she's saying is that what we've found in our investigations is that they are enablers. They are conduits, people who assist those that are corrupt in order to make sure that the money leaves the country or conceal the origins of the money that is found through ill-gotten gain. So when our investigations are concluded in this Busasa leg of investigations, each and every person that we have sufficient evidence to take to court will be thoroughly prosecuted. This is just one of various other legs. We've got the 1.8 billion rand corruption case that's in court. We've got smaller other cases, this 800,000 rand case, and now this restraint application. We must also alert each and every person in the public who does have information to please come forward to give us any more indication about what we possibly could have missed. But people can expect to see more prosecutions. People can expect to see more restraint applications. People can also expect to see SARS fraud charges coming to various other entities that were involved in the looting, more so in the Busasa era.
All right. Thank you very much for making time to speak to us. And of course, we'll keep on following on the developments of the story. And that's Sindisiwe Twala, who is the spokesperson for the Investigative Directorate.